that was an amazing weekend for us, and great 3 points that we didn't expect, as we mentioned last week. So let's just roll it on and have a look at the next game we got coming up, which is Burnley away. Now, obviously, the skeptic and that in everyone will say, this will be typical Spurs now to go away to Burnley and not come away with anything. But Max, we've got to go into that game now full of confidence, haven't we? And that this Man City game should be used as a springboard to say, look, if we win our games, top four is there for us. But we have to start, and we have to treat this game to Wednesday night the same as the City game, and we've got to go with the same intensity. We can't now drop off and just kind of like keep celebrating, kind of hungover from this Man City game. We've got to go there and get a performance, haven't we?
Sometimes these sort of sides, if you go 1-0 down, they're actually harder than the big teams, because the big teams will come at you and give you like opportunities to get the ball in the box, get crosses. You go 1-0 down to Burnley, they're putting 11 men in their own box. That's literally how they're going to play. They got rid of one giant in Chris Wood, and they replaced him with an even bigger giant. You know what I mean? So they know exactly what their game plan is. Their game plan is get it to him. They'll do the same thing. They ain't going to play tiki-taka football. They're just going to go long ball, try and get it to him, have a cheap snapshot from somewhere. I mean, it's Burnley. It's been the same tactics every season. It's Sean Dyche. That's what he does. He knows exactly what we're going to be bringing to the table. He's going to know that Kane and Son telepathic control over the top ball, and Kane get the ball. And do you remember there was that season where they obviously scored like tons and tons of goals? Then there was a season after it where it slowed down a little bit because they actually figured it out that Kane could find Son. And now we're making things work again. It's just, I feel like Conte, if anyone can do it, it's him. I feel like Wednesday's a lot more pressure than the City game, because you're not expecting it, are you? You're not expecting it. So I'd love to sit here and say we're going to go there and I'd say 2-1 if I had to put an early score prediction out, but it'll be nice just to go there and just not beat around the bush, not go 60, 70 minutes without a goal. Like, I want to get there, go there, get an early goal, and say to Burnley, look, you want to play? You've got to come at us now, because end of the day, if they're attacking, they're going to leave the game wide open for us to go and score goals. So their game plan will be pretty simple for everyone that's not in the football world to know how Burnley play. You can watch them once and work out their tactics, can't you? It's gonna be one of those nights. I'm just praying that it's gonna be they'll probably pitchfork the ground so that it's shit to play on. It'll be snowing again. It'll be something. I mean, I've been up there once and never again. That place is awful. I mean, teams that come to White Hart Lane must just think, "Wow, this is the Palace. This is unbelievable." Because I feel sorry for fans having to go to that stadium week in, week out. Honestly, but no. Football aside, they've done well, obviously, because they're a Premier League side. They're not just one that go up and down like you could.
And they had a good result at the weekend, didn't they? I mean, going to Brighton and beating Brighton convincingly. Yeah. That was a brilliant scout for them, that's for sure. So that will give them some confidence going into the game, won't it, as well?
100%. I think it's just going to be. Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be a nervy one, because naturally you expect it on paper. It's one of them. Like, if I'm playing Football Manager, I'd be like, oh yeah, should be able to beat Burnley, but Premier League sides at the end of the day, none of them are going to turn over. I mean, like you just said, 3-0 away at Brighton. Brighton are a good side. They've beaten us before now. So why they're not just going to turn over for us, are they?
No, definitely. And Patrick, I think going to this Burnley game, I think, as we're saying, one of the difficult things is going to be against City. I wouldn't say that they kind of help, but they do kind of help our game, don't they? Because they want to press us high up the pitch, play a high line, which gives us that threat of Son, with Kane's through balls, Son over the top, through the gaps. This won't be like that, will it, on Wednesday? Burnley will come and provide a different opposition. We have got to try and find a way to play against those sides that won't kind of do what teams like City or Liverpool will do, because in both of those games, we created lots of chances, but we can't seem to do that against sides like this, can we?
Yeah, it reminds me of a typical Europa League or even a Conference League night. Because, when you play a Champions League team, like you said, Carl, and like Max alluded to, those teams want to score, they want to play, they will come at you. And then it's an open game, it's quality against quality. And you try and, just pick a pass and the better team wins. When you play a team where you're expected to win, They give you the ball and they're just like, go ahead, break us down. We'll happily take a draw. Or if you beat us 1-0, so be it. So these games, they're not great. I mean, you're excited to watch them because you expect to win, but realistically, they're never great spectacles because it's quite nullifying and negative football. But if we want to be considered a big team and we want to be taken seriously and finish in the top 4, these are the games where you have to win. We need to move the ball around a bit quicker. Just make sure we don't switch off defensively. We know what they're going to be about: time wasting, goalkeepers falling on every cross, people taking ages to throw the ball in, all that type of rubbish. But we just need to stick to our game plan and just move the ball around quickly, be decisive, try and pass behind the lines. You know, Bentancur is someone that can move the ball between the lines. Kulusevski is direct and he'll get at people. Son and Kane show their quality. We should win the game. I don't want to put too much predictions out there and be cocky, but these are games we need to win now, especially, you know, going against City and getting those points. It should really give us that confidence. Hopefully Burnley scoring as well, and the way they did and winning that game, hopefully that will give them a false sense of security and they'll come at us thinking they're better than they are, that they can score goals and you know, because they didn't expect to get 3 points away to Brighton. So hopefully that will give them a bit more, you know, they'll just be a bit more open and we can go and get the win. We need to win. We can't drop no more points. Arsenal are picking up points. Man United picking up points. Wolverhampton Wanderers are picking up points everywhere right now.
Yeah, what I say, they're not out of the mix yet, are they?
Yeah, they're not. They're really not. And so we need to get a win. And then obviously just let hopefully the other teams slip up. But Leeds and Wolves, we can't afford to drop any more points now.
Yeah, Ryan, we said last week, didn't we, that, you know, going into that City game, we kind of said it was a bit of a free hit because no one's expecting anything from you. But given those 3 points, this is now vital, isn't it? That these next 2 games, we really do show that we can get top 4 because, again, nothing but a win really kind of knocks the stuffing out of you again, doesn't it? So this Burnley game is one where we really want to go and make that statement that, yeah, listen, we've beat City away and now we're going to go and turn sides like Burnley over when we face them.
We've got to Burnley especially, and then Leeds afterwards. Like the player we've just spoke about, Kane. If you want to keep him, these are games you've got to win because we want that top 4 position. We've got to go to Burnley and put in a. I mean, if Romero and Dyer, as daft as it sounds, this will be a much tougher game for them against Burnley because, like Max just said, they've got a giant up front. There's only one way they're going to go in that game. They're gonna hoof the ball up to him, try and get Cornet and McNeil to work off him, break the lines. I mean, it's going to be such a tough game for Dyer and Romero. But at the same time, we shouldn't worry about Weghorst. They should be worried about Kane and Son and Kulusevski and Bentancur. We can't go to Burnley and worry about what they're going to do. We need to take that game by the scruff.
Aaron Lennon.
Yeah. He have a point to prove. Yeah. He scored a good goal on Saturday.
Mate, he's got
It was a quality goal. Yeah.
I know. Jeez.
He's getting better with age. That bloke. I love Aaron Lennon.
Like fine wine.
We have no other option now. We've got to go. I'd like to say, Man U were away in Madrid that same night. We need to make sure that they will be checking that result as soon as their game in Madrid's done. Definitely. The first thing their players will do, and the managers and the staff, they'll be checking the result because we are chasing Man U now and we're chasing Arsenal. And I know we've got games against West Ham, but we're chasing West Ham as well. We've got to pick these points up now. I mean, like I say, it's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be like I said, you expect a really tough game, but we are good enough to be a Champions League club. And if we want this manager to stay, and if we want our top player to stay, then we've got to go away to Burnley, and we can't have no excuses. We can't listen to conditions, or we're good enough to go to Burnley and pick up all 3 points comfortably. We're that level above Burnley. We shouldn't worry about Burnley, but it's Tottenham, innit? They always give stories, so we'll have to see till Wednesday.
Max, do you see any changes coming from that side that played City? I mean, do we think Dyer would be ready to play 2 games so quickly? Reguilon, does he come back in? Do you envisage any changes or see anything different?
It's hard one to say, obviously, because if you beat City away, you feel like, yeah, why not? I'll play exactly the same side, but I guess you're setting up completely different. Like you said, we're not going to be getting in behind as much. So playing Reggie, if he's back, is it going to make much difference? I mean, Davis has obviously looked. I thought that side, Davis actually looked. Whether you go as far as saying really good is obviously a different story, but he's looked so much better in that free. He looks so much more comfortable. He's not someone that's going to get up and down the wings either. But I don't know. At the moment, I'm more than happy with Conte. Whoever he wants to pick, there's not someone like you said, Doherty. I've turned my nose up to him before, but the fact how you see how much it meant to him when he actually had that block, it takes just sometimes a bit of confidence. Like Emerson Royale, that bit of confidence from the other day as well, knowing that he's contributed to that win.
Yeah.
It only helps a player. I mean, on the back of a win like that, they're all going to be fired and ready and up for it, surely. So I can't see major changes. I mean, I can see it's a sort of game where keep ball is obviously a must. But just it's going to be trying to work it and maybe playing that tiki-taka football. I mean, I don't know when. Does anyone know when Skip's actually back? Because he's the only player that I actually do quite admire, Skip. But
I think he's still going to be out for a little while, isn't he, Skip? So yeah, that'll be the interesting one. I mean, Patrick, any changes for you? Would you change anything? Or
the only change I'd make is Reguilon in for Sessegnon. And other than that, I'd keep it exactly as it is. Sessegnon has been good. Well, I say good. He's been decent defensively. Offensively, he's just not there yet. He looks a bit scared on the ball. He looks timid. He looks a bit worried that he's overthinking things. Just play
rabbit in the headlights a little bit. At the moment,
when he was at Fulham, it was second nature. He would take his man on, he'd beat him, he'd whip him across. He was instinctive. He would finish. Now it's like he's become almost like starstruck, and he's in awe of playing at Tottenham. And he's overthinking the game. Just play the game and not the occasion. And with Cess, it seems like he's trying too hard, and that's why he's kind of coming unstuck. So I'd put Reguilon in. Reguilon's not without his faults. He hasn't been clinical enough, and we touched on it last week and the week before. I still have my doubts about him, but I still feel at this moment he's better than Sessegnon. So I put him in. But other than that, every player has been fantastic, and I wouldn't really change it. Keep Kulusevski in. You don't get a goal and assist in your first start and then get dropped. That would be criminal for me.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, other than that, I'll keep it exactly the same. A totally different game, but the players should be good enough and should know what it means to beat Burnley and go for it.
And Ryan, what about you, mate? Anything you'd change, or like the guys said, would you kind of try and keep it as much of the same as possible here?
I don't see any changes. I don't think Reguilon will come in for Sessegnon. I think he'll stick. I don't know. I'm exactly the same as Patrick. I feel exactly the same as Sessegnon. We know he's a talented young player, but his confidence is a bit. He feels a bit nervous when he gets the ball. He don't want to, like, especially being subbed off so early in the game before. Obviously, it's not something he did. Conte came out and said that it was tactics and everything like that, but you don't want to put a foot wrong at the minute. So when he's getting the ball, he's a little bit slower than the rest because you don't want to make a mistake. But like I say, I don't think he'll make it. Kulusevski's got to start, like Pat's just said, goal assist on his debut, his actual first start for the club. Yeah, he's got to start. And like I said, the only realistic one you look at is Reguilon and Sessegnon, but I'll be more than happy to see Sessegnon stay in. He's got the pace to keep up with your McNeils and Cornets, and like you say, it's something you look at. But I'll be more than happy. But like Max said, I'm trusting Conte at the minute. Whatever side he puts out, he could put Harvey White in and Dane Scarlett. I'm trusting Conte.
Don't say that. That's a bit too far. I know what you're saying. I know what you mean, but no, not yet.
That's why Nuno went early doors, mate.
I
mean, Ryan might have had one too many drinks.
Yeah, that's a bit too far.
Hey, trust the process, boys. We have done before. Trust the process.
See him starting.
We need the 3 points.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Then let's go round the room and give some predictions. So, Max, what are you saying? Come, Patrick. Let's be brave. Let's not sit on the fence. Max, what are you saying? What are you going with? Score prediction and scorers.
Ooh,
I think I said a 2-1 as long as he doesn't start Winks.
I don't know if Holly's still
Yeah.
watching. He might come off that dartboard at some point.
Nah, that's. I mean, I actually just forgot to talk about him because I actually have nothing against him. I just feel like, well, I probably do actually. I feel like he just doesn't pass the ball forward. He's too left to right. If you want to play safe, you play Winks basically, and we need to win. So
Yeah,
we do
exactly.
need to attack. We can't just sit back. Like, I don't know if Winks had received that pass that Bentancur had, we're not scoring.
Yeah.
So there's going to be times where we're going to be on the front foot, hopefully, and we might be able to beat them. Like corners and that, they always throw all their lumps up, don't they? So we'll see what happens. I'll go with 2-1. That's what I went for.
Fair enough.
And
scorers, yeah,
is
scorers.
Kane going to get on there again?
I fancy Kulu getting another one actually, and then Son. We'll go for a Kane to assist to get the record.
Break the record, yeah. We'll be beating the record. And Patrick, what about you, mate? What are you thinking?
I'm gonna be brave and say 3-1, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna be an edgy 3-1, but I think we just have enough quality to see it through. Scorers: Kane, Son, and probably Kulu. Yeah.
I think Hotspur Sam agrees with
There
you
you
there.
go. I like that.
Thanks
Well
for his
done,
contribution
yeah.
tonight as well. And Ryan, what about you, mate?
I'm going for a 3-2 with another late winner. That's the only way we seem to win at the minute. 3-2. A late winner.
Kane late winner.
I'm not sure I can stand these 3-2 results much longer. You know, the heart's not getting any younger here.
The way it went on a Saturday as well, I'm having a Kane hat trick against Burnley.
Oh, okay,
Kane
nice.
hat-trick.
I'll take that.
We'll take a Kane. Wait, Patrick got the result right last.
He did,
yeah.
What are you saying?
Lottery numbers, Patrick.
I said 3-1. Kane, Son, and Kulu. So there you go.
Come back.
I'm going to go 2-1, and I think we'll see Kane and Son score, and like as we say, break that record. So I think that